It's your girl Bree back again with another YouTube video. If this is the first time that you are seeing my face, hi, welcome. As you can see from the title, I'm gonna be telling you guys about the time I got scammed, which was recently, this month recently. So we're gonna get straight into the video. I'm gonna give you guys all the details. I'm gonna give you guys the receipts, everything. You wanna know how this happened? How did I let this happen? Well, it was a pretty good amount of money. As per usual, if you like the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah. Okay, so earlier this month, I was emailed by someone about an opportunity for modeling. If you guys did not know, now you know. I modeled. The guy emailed me and was basically like, I have a client, a new client that's interested in doing some type of fashion modeling for a website. Like, please message me if you want more details. So I'm like, okay, before I can agree and say that I'm interested, can I have some more details? He's like, sure, blah, blah, blah. He lays it all out. He's like, this is how much the shoot is gonna cost. This is how much you're gonna get paid. This is this. So I'm like, okay, this is sounding all good and everything, but I'm like, you know what? Let me not be too quick and make a decision. Let me contact my manager. So, you know, I came from out the room. I was like, hey, mom, read this email for me and tell me what you think. She's like, this sounds like a good opportunity. I'm like, I know, right? Like, this sounds great. Like, once she read it, she was like, that sounds cool. But then, okay. The first red flag was he sent me 2 emails saying how much I was going to be paid. One email said I was going to be paid $800. The second email said I was going to be paid $1,000. So I'm like, $1,000? Mind you, it's supposed to be a 2-day shoot. It was supposed to be for like 2 hours each day. So I'm like, $1,000? I'm about to get paid, okay? Listen, I have a bad habit of planning what I'm gonna do with my money before I get it. So I was telling myself, like, don't do that this time around, but I still did it. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put this much, I'm gonna put it in my savings, I could use this for that. You know, the holidays are coming up, so I'm like, I could start Christmas shopping. This is great. Because he sent 2 emails, I had to be sure of what was going on. What amount am I gonna be paid? So I asked him and he said $800. Hey, like, $800? That's good. That sounds good to me. I was like, cool. I was making all the steps to start moving forward. Like, I'm agreeing to this. Let's do this. So he's like, send your measurements, which is something normal. Like, they always ask you for your measurements, how tall you are, your sizes, your shoe size, da 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 da. So I sent out that email. He's like, great, you've been approved. Like, our team, they like your style, and da, 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 all type of crap. So I'm like, okay, great. He said that the shoot was supposed to be, the email said August 16th and 17th, but I knew that had to be a typo. Basically, they weren't gonna move forward with the photo shoot until everybody received their money. I was supposed to get paid $800 and I was supposed to receive $400 up front. Half before and then half after. Okay, please keep this in mind as I continue to move forward with the story. Okay, I asked him, like, are you sure it's August 16th and 17th, because we're in October? So I was like, what? And he was like, no, November, da 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 da. Like, he gave me the address for where the place is gonna be. Now I'm familiar, like, I've heard the name of this place before, so I'm like, oh, that's down Biscayne, like, it's not too far. I was like, okay, do you have a number that I can contact you so I can, like, call you and talk about this? So that's when the conversation went from email to text. Now, I don't have any screenshots of the text because I have a new phone and I deleted the messages after I found out this was a fraud situation. I just wanted to be done with it. So I was like, I deleted the thread. I never saved his number. I was just like, whatever, I'm over it. So when I messaged him in the text, he was like, hey, he basically kept, like, telling me, like, okay, once you get the check, make sure you deposit it, let me know, da 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 da. So I'm like, okay. He's like, it's gonna be sent out, da 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 da. I'm like, okay, cool, thank you so much, thank you for contacting me, you know, just being, like, nice, like, saying thank you and everything, because I didn't know it was fraud. He was basically contacting me every day, telling me, like, hey, did you get the check yet? When you get the check, make sure you deposit it. When you get the check, deposit it. deposit the check when you get it. When you receive the check, deposit it. And I'm like, dude, like that was another red flag for me. I was like, why does he keep stressing me to like deposit the check? Like, okay, if you're paying me, like I could cash the check. Like if I tell you I received the check, you should be like, okay, cool, so now we can move forward and do the shoot. But why is it like you keep stressing the fact that I need to deposit the check? So in my head, I'm like, that's kind of weird. So I mentioned that to my mom, my manager, and she was like, well, I don't know about that. And she was like, well, when you get it, like we'll see, we'll go to the bank and everything and see about like depositing it. So I'm like, okay, cool. So when I got it, I let him know. I'm like, hey, I received the check. He's like, okay, make sure you deposit it. But then I think that day it was like a Friday at like 5. So no, I'm not depositing it today. And then the weekends, like, no, my bank, I have a credit union, they're not open. So I would have to wait until Monday. I couldn't do it Monday, so I was supposed to do it that Tuesday. Basically, I ended up messaging him and telling him like, yeah, I received it. And when he asked me like, did I deposit it, I was like, oh, not yet because the bank is closed, da 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 da. And then the next day he's like, did you deposit the check yet? And I'm like, no, my bank is closed on the weekend. I think he messaged me at least 2 or 3 times, and then finally I started to get a little irritated, and I'm like, when I deposit it, I'll let you know, I'll keep you updated, and I'll probably get it done by Wednesday at the latest, whatever. I believe that Monday, if I'm not mistaken, was the day that my mom was like, okay, you know what, call the bank that's on the check. And it was like Santander Bank. You know, like when you have a check, you can call and verify and everything before you deposit it, so you're not in any problem. So I'm like, okay, cool. I found like a 1-800 number. I called. So I called a couple times. So let's get into it. The first time I called, I gave the lady the information on the check. She basically told me she couldn't verify it. This is when I started to overthink myself. So she said she couldn't verify it. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, it was for $1,800. 1800. $1,800. Okay, I probably should have mentioned it. It should have been a red flag to me, but I was kind of like, this is exactly what I said to my mom. I said, don't put a question mark where God puts a period. So yeah, I thought this was like my chance. I was like, what? I was supposed to get paid $800. They were supposed to give me only $400, but then they sent me $1,800, and I'm like, what? So basically, I ended up calling the 1-800 number again. I got put through to somebody that actually looked like she knew what she was like talking about. She knew what she was doing. So this was my first time having to like verify a check. So apparently on a check, the like middle number on the bottom of the check is supposed to be the account number. Then you have the routing number and something else, but the middle number is supposed to be the account number. So when I gave the lady the information, she was like, that's our routing number. So she's like, tell me what's the first number. And then I told her, and she's like, okay. But she's like, it was a cashier's check. So basically the lady let me know that their bank had like a specific department to handle cashier's checks. So she's like, I'm gonna like get in contact with them with all of the information that you gave me, and then we're gonna find out like if this check is good or not. After she got off speaking to them, she was like, yeah, I spoke to the people in the department and we don't think the check is good. I told my mom, and my mom was like, okay, well, if they're telling you that, like, you definitely shouldn't take it to the bank to deposit it, because on her side, she already contacted our bank and was like, okay, we have a cashier's check. Do you guys cash cashier's checks? And they were like, yeah, but the lady was already telling my mom, like, listen, you need to do your part and verify if the check is real, because if you come deposit the check and it's not real, like, we'll close down your account. And when my mom told me that, I was like, what? Huh? So I didn't even want to take that chance. So I was like, we're not doing that, because it was an $1,800 check. Like, I wanted to be absolutely positively sure that it was not real before I just be like, let me throw this check away and that's it. We had one more option. We took the check to a check cashing place. This is when it went down, okay? This is when it went down. When I took the check to the check cashing place, the lady was like looking at the check all like, so I'm like, what's going on? Because I still was not sure. Like, I was not 100% sure. I was being freaking stupid He ended up calling to verify the check. They were like, the check is not real. She's like, yeah, because I'm looking at it and something doesn't look right. It's not adding up. So she was like, honey, the check is not good. Like, what did you get this check for? And I was like telling her like it was supposed to be a modeling opportunity, da 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 da. And she was like, yeah, no, this is a scam. Like, the check is fake. It's fraud. No. And she was like, I have to keep the check. And I was like, keep it. I got all the proof that I needed. So I was like, I'm done with this. We left. I messaged the person and I told him like, hey, the check was fake. Thank you, but no thank you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bye. I don't want your fake check. And he's like, what? No, that's impossible. Deposit the check. You still trying to tell me to deposit the check when I just told you that it's fake? Huh? Are you dumb? My mom's like, don't even contact him. Don't even speak to him. Just delete the number. I was like, you right, manager. I was like, I'm done with this. And you know, the funny thing is, the only reason I went to the check cashing place, I wasn't even gonna go, is because I told my best friend and he was like, that's $1,800. You should try to cash it and just see if it's real or not. After the whole situation, I was like, you could have got me locked up. I could have been in prison right now. All in all, the point of the story is to trust your instincts. I had a professor that actually said that in class. She said that humans are the only animals that do not trust their instincts. And I'm like, bro, that is so true. Because like all these red flags were just like ding, 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 ding. And I was like, that's $1,800, sis. Even my mom felt like, something's a little shady. But I'm glad she did like tell me like, okay, listen, I don't think we should deposit it. Let's like try anything else before we deposit it. I'm glad I didn't try to do that. And basically this just served as a lesson to me to be more careful, because I'm gonna continue modeling for hopefully a while. So if any more situations arise where people want to give me an opportunity to model for them, now I'm just going to be a little bit more cautious. And then also it just let me know to like trust in my faith, because listen, afterwards I was happy to find out that like the check was fake. Not happy that I missed out on the opportunity and missed out on the money, but happy to know like, okay, I didn't get myself into some mess because I was smart enough to finally like wake up. So how I was saying like, oh, don't put a question mark where God put a period, like, no, sis. If it was a blessing from God, God wouldn't bless me with something and then I have to question it. Like, I would just know in my heart this is meant for me. And the fact that I questioned so many things, like that alone should have let me know like this is not a blessing from God. So yeah, I just had to learn to trust my instincts. And on the bright side, I know what a real check is supposed to look like. If you enjoyed this video, as per usual, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope that I helped you with this video and taught you a little something. And see you in the next one. Peace.